You are listening to Subject to Change. Real people experiencing real life, unscripted. Well, welcome to another episode of Subject to Change. I'm Sarah.
I'm Mallory.
And I'm the monkey in the middle. Hello.
Right. Hello.
Hi.
We are trying something new.
Wow.
We're live right now.
Live streaming.
On
No, we're
YouTube.
Not really. We're not really.
Yeah, we are. We're
The guest.
what?
The guest will know. Yeah, this is
So-
fun. This is exciting. Look
yeah,
at us.
I don't know. I can't. I have no way of. I don't know. I can't.
Yeah. Hey, we're going
Okay,
with it.
we're going with it.
Don't
going
try
with
to
the
control
flow.
everything. Like
Camera
to control.
still says
she
live.
really likes to control.
I am. I get that from my mother. Anyway, so
today's episode is sponsored by, you put up something that I'm not going to say, but I'm going to say that Myles Garrett is staying in Cleveland.
you can say that.
That is a good sponsorship of our show. Thank you, Myles, for staying in Cleveland. It might be the dumbest thing you've ever done in the world, unless he
Dumbest
knows
thing you've ever
something we
done.
don't.
He just wants the money.
AKA, they found something to get all the money away from Deshaun Watson, and now he's getting more money and blah, 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 blah. So
Yeah, I don't know.
maybe he does know something that
Yeah.
we Browns
Well,
fans
you
don't
got
know.
that, and we just keep getting disappointments this
Who?
week.
Who day?
Yeah. Well.
Anyways,
Yeah. Well, today though
Thanks,
we got
Myles.
one. P. Ryan's coming back as a running back.
I don't know. Moving on. Anyways.
Yeah. So, my Bengals matter, Dad.
You're saying that BLM stands for Bengals Lives Matter?
No,
Whoa.
I'm saying that the Bengals also matter, not just the Browns. Okay.
I'm BFM.
Okay.
Browns fans matter.
So the Bengals
Love it.
fans.
I'm going to start. That's going to be my new shirt. BFM.
Love it.
Bengals fans matter.
Ah, damn it. They have the same. And they have the same first letter of their city,
They
too.
do.
And same colors, to be fair.
Well, no, we're not brown. We're
What
orange
is
and
it?
black.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah,
Anywho.
at least we have some football news this week.
Yeah. Anywho.
Yeah. Okay.
Go
well,
Browns.
as always, we're on YouTube, so if you're watching, subscribe, please. We're trying to get more followers. Follow us on Facebook and TikTok and Instagram. And if you have a story that you want to share with us, please share it with us and let us know.
Yeah. And we love our listeners.
We do. We absolutely do.
Love them.
I feel like we get a new one like every week.
New 100.
I wish. We just need a sponsor.
Yes.
We're
So,
getting there. Ah,
we're
good.
getting there.
We don't need a sponsor.
We
We're
don't
doing
need a
this-
sponsor. This is fun.
We,
Be
I
fun.
propose we have an episode of why we're doing this, because we really haven't
I think
asked
we
ourselves
should.
that
I love
Maybe
that
we should do
idea.
that next week.
why are
Yeah.
we doing this, right?
Yeah.
I love that idea.
I know.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
Bryon, you're just full of good
Okay.
ideas.
Well, I mean,
All
they
right.
come to me sometimes.
Seriously.
Okay. All right.
Anywho, yeah, definitely like us, subscribe, do all those things. And we have an announcement. This is we're not only
Oh, yeah.
going live, but
Our 20th episode. We made it to 20
Yay!
episodes.
I know. Look at us.
Wow.
You
Look
know
at
what?
us.
I don't know that I've ever been consistent. I couldn't do that with my paper route as a kid. I don't think I did. I made it 20
I know.
weeks.
I'm not consistent either. So this is
That means
great.
20. You guys, we meet once a week, so that's 20 weeks.
20
we've been getting
weeks.
together
And we've
to
had
do
some
this show.
breaks in between too. So
That's pretty good.
yeah,
pretty
that's
fucking
pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm proud of it.
Pat on our.
Back
Oh.
pat.
Oh, there it is.
Don't pull muscle.
I did. Yeah.
Life is mocking me. Let's talk about it. All right. Yes. Oh, what can I complain about? So many things. So many things. Yeah, you know, I love dogs. We had a dog, and now I babysit dogs because I don't want a dog. I travel too much work. I raised 4 kids. I had 5, but I didn't raise you.
No.
Clearly.
Oh man.
And it shows.
So I've been babysitting Pumpkin, Geeta's daughter's dog.
We love
And
Pumpkin.
He's such a good dog. I do. I think we're connected. He was actually in a dream of mine the other day. It was pretty crazy.
Aw.
Like this Black Panther came, and Pumpkin didn't attack it. For some reason, there was a leopard or something else there that attacked it. But Pumpkin was kind of like alerting us that we were, it's okay. It
Oh,
just
okay.
doesn't- yeah, it
All
just
right.
turns its
Okay.
own off. But Pumpkin was alerting me that the panther was there. So like, and then I guess I could say this, and then Geeta said, "You were whimpering in your sleep, and so was Pumpkin."
Oh, that's
Oh my gosh.
weird.
I think we were connected in a
Connected, yeah.
dream.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Wow.
That's great.
Anyways, I'm taking Pumpkin. And Pumpkin, I'm babysitting every once in a while. He comes to the office. We hang out. You guys met him here. And, cleaning up dog poop is a whole topic anyways. Drives me insane when people don't clean up after their dog. And I understand because it's happened to me where I'd be walking Pumpkin and he poops and I don't have a bag. So I'm like, oh shit, I got to walk to wherever and find one. Unfortunately, I haven't been too far away to let it go before someone, cops are coming down the street or something and arresting me for it, which they don't. But anyways, this time though, so now what I do is keep bags on his little harness so that when he poops, I'm prepared because I always forget stuff. So I have bags in there. And I knew I was running low on those, but took him for a walk downtown here. And waits till like the last minute, right on Gay Street, on the sidewalk, in front of the storefront, takes this massive dump. And there is that brief second where you just go, maybe. You look around, maybe no, I can't get away with this. I got to clean it up. So I start getting the bags out, and I had 2 bags left. The first one rips open, so now I don't have a bag. I'm like, oh, please God, please God. Second one rips open. I don't have a bag. So now I'm trying to piece together these bags. They don't fit your hand. So now I'm like, I'm going to get poop somewhere or whatever. So I finally get it to a point where at least I think most of my skin is covered. And it's so big. It's such a big, massive thing. And I go to grab it. I'm getting a little bit on my hands, a little bit got on. But then the storefront owner comes. I think it's a copy shop or something down the street. He's like, oh, I want to say hi to your dog. He's all like jumping around. I'm trying to hold him and clean up the poop. Poop's going everywhere on my shoes and everything. And I'm just like,
wow.
oh.
It does not sound fun.
But I did my dude. I'm like, dude, love for you to say hi, but look, you got a place for this? And he's like, oh no. And he like backs into his store. Thanks, man. So yeah, cleaning up the dog poop. There's just dog poop everywhere. I just can't stand it. I just don't understand people. But people just are in their own world, no matter what.
So true.
Like me, when I complain all the time about airports and walking through airports, and why is it that every single person I'm following is every time I want to go past them, they know how to move exactly in my way. It just like this is
like
definitely life mocking me. Like, okay, I'm gonna get past them. I gotta go to the bathroom. They fucking move. I've been tracking you for like the last 100 feet and you haven't moved one little bit. As soon as I have this thing, a thought in my head that I'm going to pass, then all of a sudden they move over. What do they have? Eyes in the back of their heads? Or am I that connected to energy that happens?
Might be that connected.
I don't know. Let's just
make
make Bryon mad
Which
today.
segues me into my next segment.
Oh, jeez.
So this is a little interesting because, all right, so we went to New York for the weekend. We stayed at and this is going to sound bougie, but it's actually cheaper to do this than it is to stay in a hotel in New York. So we stayed in the athletic club, the New York Athletic Club. So it's a club, it's a private club, but so you have to show IDs or whatever when you get there. But me, I come in when I check in and I'm like, okay, I'm a member of Columbus. This is my thing. And I'm allowed to have guests. So I had, Geeta's daughter, her friend, Geeta's brother and sister-in-law. I got the rooms for all of them, and I had some friends from Jersey coming in, and they, it's under their name, so they check in, do all their thing. But I come in, and I'm just like instantly, I get it. They have dress codes, like you can't wear jeans, you can't have tennis shoes, even when you're in the hotel lobby, right? I mean, in the athletic club lobby. So, of course, before this, everyone's texting me like, "Are you sure you can't wear sneakers? What about this? What about?" I'm like, you guys. I sent you the rules. These are the rules. Right. You got to follow them. Or if you don't want to, then go pay twice as much and stay in another hotel, and you can wear whatever the fuck you want. You want to wear sweatpants and whatever, go do it. So anyways, I'm the kind of guy that I like to go into a place and just be super friendly, instantly like introduce myself to the bellman, the doorman, like, oh, hey, yeah, I'm here. And I did this after I checked in. I'm like, oh, I'm going to be staying. We're going to go in. I just want to say hi. Like, I'm from Columbus. Oh, yeah, cool. We talk, all that stuff. So I'm friendly. Now that means when I walk in every single time, they're just like, hey, how you doing? Go on through. But the rest of the crew, they were telling me like they would walk in, and so it's me and Geeta. Geeta's Indian, you guys know. And Dark's really darker skinned Indian people, and her brother same. They're just pretty dark. They said that every single time they got stopped and had to show their ID, like, what are you doing here? Kind of thing. I'm like, so is it? I mean, we kind of joke like, well, that's pretty racist because I'm a white guy. I mean, they're like, oh yeah, they just let the white guy in. Like they don't say anything about us. And I was like, I think it's because I was friendly. Like I'm like I got a good, attitude and everything.
Yeah.
And even the girls were talking about how they said something to them, and like one of them, well, that was the thing too. We tried to get the girls into the cocktail lounge on Saturday night. Now they're not of age, but it's like a club. They largely don't care as long as you don't make a big deal of it. Well, they clearly had no experience of lying and things like that. So I go out to get them. I'm like, well, come on, ladies. I'm acting like, hey, let's just go. This is an old guy with some 2 young women, and we're going to come into the cocktail lounge because we were already in there, me and Geeta and my friends Joe and Peggy, who was supposed to be on the podcast. And the guy goes, excuse me, sir. I'm like, yeah. He goes, are they 21? And I go, oh, yeah, it's my daughter. She's 21. And he goes, she just told me she's 20. I'm like, I just looked at her. I'm like, you did what? Like, I got nothing. I just look at the guy. He just kind of looked at me like, yeah, dude, they fucked up.
Oh, my God.
So he couldn't get them in. Yeah, but it's just being friendly, I think. Mm-hmm. I think they were nervous, clearly. But I think all their interactions, I kind of observed them, and they're that typical, kind of like Samantha, too. I mean, they're a couple of years older. She's 20, Sophia. But they got that, like, they're quiet. They're not, like they got to learn that, look, friendliness goes a long way.
It does.
Go be friends with them. Talk to them. Mm-hmm. You'll get anything you want.
Oh, yeah.
Anything you want.
Yeah.
On the way there, actually, on that note, Geeta and I bought our tickets separate we just used miles. So like, I didn't have enough to get us both on the same reservation. So we're on separate reservations. I get bumped to first class.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
So what does a guy do?
Shocker.
You.
A good guy would say, take my seat.
Yeah.
I did. I said,
good.
Geeta, you can have my seat. She's like, no. She's so sweet. No. You take it. Well, let's see what happens. And maybe, if there's a seat, I'll talk to him. So I went up before we got there, went to the gate agent and said, hey, it's my girlfriend. We just had to book them separate because of our miles. She's like, we're absolutely full. Like, she cut me off. I'm like trying to be nice. Absolutely full. We can't do it. I'm like, okay. We'll just check in, So we get on the plane, and then everyone's boarded. There's a seat open next to me. I'm like, oh, well. So I went up to the flight attendant, like, really, hey, listen, I'm really sorry to bother you, but my girlfriend's back there, and it doesn't make any sense. Like, I would go back there. I would totally go back there, but I got a seat. Now you guys gave that seat to someone else. Like, if she could come up here, that'd be great. The flight attendants were great. And she's like, oh, there's a gate agent. That old battle act came in there like, what? What's happening? What's going on? Like, you don't remember me? I just talked to you. And it was like pulling teeth with her, but I was really nice. And then it was because they had a captain. He was supposed to sit next to me, but he took the jump seat in the cockpit. So then I was like joking, like, oh, I'll trade with him. Like, I'll sit up in the cockpit. That'd be great. And they're like, they didn't get the humor or something. I don't know. But anyways, being nice gets you. And then they're like, yeah, it's fine. And they let her just sit there. I mean, it's an hour flight. It's not like,
yeah.
And she got water. There wasn't, it cost them nothing to move her up into that seat.
Yeah.
Just like, I would sit back there, like I said, with her, but my seat was already given away. So I think friendly, just be friendly to people. Have a good attitude, especially in your new place, instead of just being yourself and whatever if you're angry or whatever you are at home or whatever, just be friendly. You can, it's
Fake
amazing what you can get.
Make
Totally.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my stuff. That's my complaints.
I feel like I was going to complain about something, but I forgot.
It's okay. Take a minute, friend.
About the travel.
No.
First class.
No.
I can't relate.
There might have been something, but I can't remember. I'm losing my memory. I don't know what it was. But
I do that all the time.
yeah, I was going to complain about something, but I don't remember now. That's fine. It'll come to me.
It'll come to me.
This is my, I think I played this before on the podcast, but
I've got my baggage.
flying first class.
No, you haven't played this yet.
It's good. Rainbow Kitten Surprise.
Well, it's not, I know what I was going to mention. It's not really a complaint. It's like a follow-up, but
Okay.
it's like a reverse complaint. Went to a concert last week that didn't cancel.
Mm.
Oh,
Got
I
to a
went with
concert.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Rascal Flatts.
Oh, I was gonna say
Flats.
Shaky Graves.
Oh, they were here?
No, but it sounds similar.
What? This?
Shaky Graves and Rascal Flatts. The name sounds
Yeah.
Led Zeppelin, Def Leppard.
I like Shaky Graves,
Who copied
though.
who?
Wait,
Yeah.
I don't know who
but
that is.
yeah. Yeah, it was good though.
Shaky Graves or Led Zeppelin.
Minus the restaurant. Wait, that's
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we've talked about restaurants before,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
I
Yeah.
had no idea. I was like a fish out of water.
If I had to hear one more time that we were next and it's been an hour,
You're so bad.
I said, you know what? We're sitting at the bar. We got faster
Where was this,
service.
Applebee's?
No, Buca de
No.
Beppo. Not Applebee's. But I was like, screw it. We're sitting at the bar. I mean, the poor lady was working by herself. I felt really bad for her. She was really great.
Yeah. She was
But-
great.
But like,
thought you
seriously,
went
what
too,
a
Mallory.
chaotic mess.
Yeah, report on the Rascal Flatts concert.
It was good.
It was good.
But dinner before was just a mess.
I mean, we
It
probably
was.
should have made reservations, but like, I was
We
okay
were
with
And
just
you're
like,
going to like the restaurant that every out of towner
well,
comes into
every
Columbus
rest-
for
even
a
Jimmy
concert.
John's.
place was
It was
packed.
just ridiculous. We got
well,
to the
around
concert
the
late.
arena.
Yeah.
But when we got there, though, they said like 40 minutes, 45 minutes. It was an hour and a half. And we were next.
We still weren't even seated.
And
We
only
sat
two
at the
people?
bar
four.
Oh yeah.
We ended up sitting at the bar, though. It was fine.
I paid $12. I was just out of touch with drink prices.
We need to get out more.
Listen,
Yeah, don't go to New York. Oh my god.
I
yeah.
hadn't been to a concert in so long. I was flabbergasted at prices.
Oh, in the venue. You're not talking about at the
Well,
restaurant.
before and in.
Yeah,
in
you
the
need to get
venue
out
is worse.
more.
That was insane to me. $16 for one drink.
Yeah, that's why. you
Yeah, I
gotta
paid 15 for White
hit
Claw.
the pen.
Yeah.
That sounds
the dab
pretty
pen.
typical.
Yeah.
That to
Oh, yeah.
me was
Yeah.
just, no.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It was a good concert, though. They played, because
It
this is
was.
their home state. So they played some Ohio State stuff in the beginning. And then,
Wait, where are they from?
Well,
Gary is from
Ohio.
Olentangy.
Yeah.
And so is his cousin Jay. And then I think I don't know where the other one's from, but they're all from here. So, but we all sat separately because it was easier to get individual tickets than to buy group tickets. It was cheaper. So we all kind of made new friends.
Wait, you were in separate sections?
Same
Well-
sections, just different row.
It was nice because we got to meet
Yeah.
new people.
Yeah, we met new people. It's fine.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, I made new friends. It's fine. Yeah, it was
So a
good.
concert that wasn't canceled.
Yes.
And speaking of, like, I'm
guys are
going to
so
see
bitter about this.
going to see Tool soon. And
Yeah.
They complained that so they just started their Caribbean, South American, whatever they're doing, and they did a festival in Dominican Republic, and everyone complained. So they did back-to-back shows. And my friends that are going with me this next time, this week to Mexico City, he sent the things like Tool booed because of set, like bad set or something like that. I'm like, well, that's not. I don't know. First off, it's a festival. I don't like. There's certain bands I don't like to see at a festival because they're not going to play all of their stuff unless they're the headliner. And so I start researching into it. It was a 2-night show, and they actually said that they would have 2 unique sets. But the people are complaining about is the second night they repeated like 4 or 5 songs, and they cut it short 1 song. So they played 10 songs the first night and 9 the second. Now, if you know Tool, 1 song is about 12 minutes long. So it's not like they're 3-minute, Rascal Flatts songs or Justin Timberlake songs. They're like 12
No,
minutes.
Justin's got some long songs.
They're 12-minute, works of poetry.
See, my attention span is like 3 minutes, and I can't.
Yeah.
Unless it's really good, and I can keep jamming to it.
I agree.
That's a long song.
So I'm not too worried about the
Yeah.
complaints that they play this. There's songs that I would listen to over and over.
At
and
least
do
they're
listen
playing.
to over and over and over and over and over again. I would totally listen
Yeah.
to them a million times in a row.
They're not canceling.
Yeah. So exactly. At least they're not canceling.
God,
We
this
still haven't
Justin
heard from
Timberlake.
Justin.
Man,
He's
we're
in
so
my A.
bitter.
So this is the chorus I wanted to get to.
Oh, is this Tool?
This is Rainbow Kitten Surprise.
my bad.
First class.
Breaking my ass, you're working all day.
I have no idea if anyone's watching right now. I can't. It doesn't show me.
Well, if they are, they're here for a good
I
time.
want to see. I'm gonna check my other account and watch us.
Thanks.
This is such a great song. You guys should listen to Rainbow Pin Surprise. They're good.
They sound good.
This is weird news. News that's weird.
All right, guys. Well, welcome to Weird News. We're going to get weird today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about the world's worst superhero. According to, in Florida, Man Games returns for round 2 as teams vie to be the world's worst superhero. So like this is a...
Wait.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot. People are competing to be the world's worst superhero.
I love it.
This is real. Like how?
So what games do they do? So this starts with because we were talking about any weird news that says a Florida man.
Right.
And this is actually how they started this competition.
As soon as they say Florida, like it's going to be weird.
Yeah.
Like
So there's always a Florida man did XYZ. So then saying
so true.
Florida man game. So I think that's what they're trying to do, right?
Right.
Is figure all that stuff out.
Yeah.
Or do games that are just like a Florida man did this or that.
Right.
All right. So what are some of the events?
So there's a video if we want to pull it up.
Oh yeah, we can do that.
Pull it up.
We could totally do
I mean,
that.
it's just like it's out there.
Except we're not
so
so
weird.
cool that let's see if we can skip.
Sorry, guys. I'm
There it
sorry.
is. No, you're good.
I'm just it says we're
So-
live, but it doesn't. I don't know.
It's all good. Don't
They're-
worry.
they're both-
Don't worry. Don't stress.
It seems like it's you're very intoxicated, just dressing outrageously. Just
Wait. So this event is they're
Amazing.
in a floaty. Oh, this is this one they're in pool water and they're hitting each other with those.
why is this only a Florida thing?
Wow, look
I
at
think
the
this should be
tattoos.
a
we've got the Olympics,
across
and
the
they've been
country
around
thing.
forever, but they don't have gator tossing. They don't have sumo wrestling.
No, they don't
have
in the
how much
Olympics.
beer you can drink. They don't have a contest where you got to hold your beer and fight someone else at the same time. It's just something you're not going to find anywhere
Oh,
else.
here's
they're
some
on lawnmowers.
lawnmower racing. Oh my
Lawnmower
god.
racing, yes.
This
I think
is
that guy's
great.
just doing donuts.
It's exactly on brand the way I thought it would be. It's the right
Wow.
level of like grinding.
So how long has this been
and,
going on?
uh,
When did this
extravagant
start?
And debaucherous.
Wow.
It's exactly what I want. It's a lot of people day drinking. A lot of people like getting sunburnt. A lot
This
of
is something
people,
my friends and I would do
just
back in college,
partying
probably.
and-
Just like
and
come up with the
Right?
dumbest
acting
things we
like
could
the best
possibly do.
Those are fun.
Potentially get hurt and maybe even lose a leg. So, these are
I
those
feel like this
balls you
is
get in like as a human and then you knock the shit out of each other.
I feel like this is something I would have done like 10 years ago.
Right?
I've done stupid stuff like this.
I did this.
I feel
There was
like
just no
Florida
competition
Man is
for it.
just,
It wasn't
A way
recognized.
of life. It's a vibe. It is
Totally a vibe.
It's a way of
kind
life.
This outfit. It's just a little bit of just living your freedom, living your life, and just enjoying yourself.
Not to be
I mean,
judgy,
axe
but
throwing. Axe throwing's not so bad.
not to be judgmental. But
Here-
it kinda,
instead of
alligator.
a bull, it's an
oh,
alligator.
nice, nice outfit.
So, right.
Yeah,
an
here's a man
alligator.
with a wrestling. I actually saw a wrestling outfit at a store in New York City. I'm like, let's bring these back.
Ready for the trophy and ready for the title. And each year,
Looks like
someone new
Newark,
has to be
Ohio.
born for it.
It really does.
Drinking beer with pool floats on.
But it's fun, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Life
I would
is too
totally
serious.
like. Yeah,
Outback Steakhouse.
And this is something that like people are just having fun with and enjoying, and sometimes you just gotta
it's
sit
like
back
beer
and-
Olympics.
So why is it
Yeah.
that? Why do we think it is that Florida, harbors all of these kind of
I don't know.
Outrageous.
These
Crazy
a lot of
off the
weird
wall
stuff happens
white
down
American
there.
men?
It's not just men. Like
There's some
women
weird
too.
stuff.
Do you remember? Like I don't know how long ago it was, but the women, not the women. Gosh, Sarah. People just all over down there were like hyped up on bath salts, like attacking people like
remember that.
zombies, like it was a zombie apocalypse.
And was that just in Florida?
Yeah, it was like literally like they were just like eating people off the side of the highway.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I wonder if part of it is, the weather's really warm. It's a huge tourist location. So you've got, all different types of people from all different walks of life. gravitating towards one area. I don't know if
in
that
Florida.
in Florida.
Well, because it's warm and people, man, I'm going to live in Florida.
Yeah,
No,
so
but
you
it's
have people
also
that
where the snowbirds go. Are they doing
Yeah.
crazy stuff?
it could be. Hey, listen, you even have like swinger
They are
communities down
doing
there.
crazy
Are
stuff.
they? The Amish go down there too for vacation.
dear. That's what I'm talking about. It is a location where people gravitate towards.
Do you think just the southern people are just really close? That's why they just all go to Florida? This should be the theme song for
It really
the
should be.
Florida Man Games.
I love the title, the Florida Man Games.
I know. I was nervous even
The Florida
saying
man.
it. I was like, it's so off the wall, but it's great.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I would
Lots of
so want to
mullets
do
in there,
that.
too.
A
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of mullets.
That's still a thing.
It is.
Really, down in Florida.
Well,
anyways.
And Licking County. Come out to Licking County. It's
Really?
everywhere.
It was
yes.
really trendy there for a while.
It still is.
yeah.
There's mullets everywhere.
Mullets with
because of
guys
Morgan,
with the...
Morgan
Yeah, we
Wallen.
might be
Well, Gerald
neighboring
did
each
say
other. Yeah.
last week that we haven't introduced our guest, actually.
Oh, yeah, we forgot to. So sorry. Hi, Heather. Hecker part 2.
Hi.
Gerald's wife, Heather.
Yeah, we'll be getting
Welcome.
into it, but yeah, feel free. I feel like now you can speak now because we didn't introduce you. Be like, who is this other woman?
Yeah, we
talking?
have, we might be neighboring counties, but, Licking is full of mullets.
I think Gerald
Yeah.
would totally do a mullet. No,
Gerald would do a mullet.
Didn't he have he? Yeah,
He had long
no, I
hair.
saw pictures on Facebook.
He had
I
long
saw
hair.
it.
was it mullet?
It wasn't a mullet, but it was long hair.
They exist, and I witnessed them.
They still do. But not like the...
Does he dream of living in Florida?
Well, actually, a couple of years ago, we tried living in Florida.
Oh,
Yeah.
because like the guy said there, he wanted to be a Florida man, so that a Florida man,
I hear
Yep.
Gerald right now.
Gerald Hector,
Yeah. Now his family is from there. Or yes, you guys
not
have family
Gerald,
there.
Gerald.
Yeah,
Gerald.
Tampa
Probably down there
area.
they would
Tempe,
say
okay. So
Gerald.
that's a huge tourist
Gerald?
What's up?
location.
Gary.
Oh yeah,
Gary.
yeah, and Tampa gets pretty crazy too.
Yeah.
I
And
think all of
the
Florida.
other thing with that is, I work in behavioral health,
Yeah.
and I review cases for inpatient stays for psych and substance abuse, detoxes and stuff, and it's all Florida cases that I do.
See?
And
This is what I'm talking about.
I see some of the craziest things down there.
I bet.
Yeah.
No, it's super interesting.
So I just pulled up a Florida man. ... And this is all the news that's coming up. Florida man charged with attempted murder after shooting 2 men he thought were Palestinians.
Oh dear.
Oh, nice.
Well.
Only in Florida.
Oh my.
This is recent, by the way.
That's not Florida, man.
A lot of Florida man convicted of killing couple set to die. Oh no, he's set to die. That punctuation, people, and this is the Associated Press.
Right.
Making online threats. We knew about that one.
Oh, that's just basketball.
Man, a lot of this stuff is.
Yeah.
Geez. Ron DeSantis talks up his wife as next Florida governor. Wow. Interesting.
Interesting.
All right, these actually aren't as bad as the man games there.
I know.
Hey.
Florida man.
Go man games.
I mean, I think we should, try to start our own here as, superhero.
A newer games.
Ooh, there you go.
A newer.
Those
man.
happen every day.
Okay, but
Well.
I do want to do a couple follow-ups on the weird news from other ones.
Oh, yes.
Piglets were left to starve as part of a controversial art exhibit in Denmark.
I saw this.
Have been
Okay.
stolen.
Oh, they were stolen. I didn't know.
Where's
Well, they're
PETA?
probably stolen so they could eat.
Yeah, because this is horrible.
Yeah. So the
This is
art exhibit
mortifying.
was to just let the pigs sit
That's
there.
art?
That's not art. That's
What is
mortifying.
that?
Wow, only in Denmark and not.
That's all-
There should be a game. Denmark or Florida? We should look up some news. Did this happen in Denmark?
That's so
or
true.
Quiz
Florida?
game. That'd be fun.
We'll have to look that up. This solidifies it.
Newark
right
I
or
did
here.
Florida?
see this though, and I didn't catch the part where they were stolen, which makes me somewhat happy because at least now they can probably eat. This is horrible. How is
Why
that
would
art?
you be like, why is
Listen,
that?
man, that's art down here in Florida. We breed baby alligators. We just let them sit in the cage. That's art. And dinner when they're done.
So great. Oh man.
Okay.
All right, Florida. Sorry.
We love Florida.
Florida, yeah, we
what
love
do you mean
you.
we love Florida? We do not
we
love Florida.
we need you around so we can have some more weird news.
Yeah. That's why we love Florida.
All right.
This is Mental Health Matters.
I'm starting to lose my mental health.
Right.
Why?
The piglets. I feel bad
Okay,
for
that's
them.
really. But let's rejoice because
They're eating
Somebody
daylight
stole them
savings
finally.
time
Oh.
started. Daylight is upon us. So I
know
thought
it is weird. It is light because we started this podcast and it was
dark.
winter.
I mean, it was still kind of light-ish.
Yeah.
But it's been dark and depressing ever since.
Yeah, I feel
so.
bad. We're drinking. It's like noon.
Stop. Stop.
So yeah, with daylight savings
First
time
time,
starting.
look at Heather
what-
right now. She's like a deer in the headlights. I think she's just terrified. Are you okay?
I get it.
Dad scares you. It's fine.
Wow.
I understand.
You didn't expect this.
No.
Don't worry, we'll get to you.
Oh my gosh.
We're a lot.
So yeah, I wanted to, because daylight savings time started and spring is 10 days away. So for me, this is the time of year. This is my new year, because things are blooming and
Oh, we talked about
becoming
that.
colorful,
And I agree.
and yeah. So it kind of brought about something I wanted to talk about because I feel like this is something cool, especially for those of us who suffer from anxiety. Even if you don't, it's a good practice. So like I went outside this week. I was pretty much outside a lot this weekend, but I find myself being in tune with the ground and the dirt and everything. And I love putting my hands in it. It makes me feel so at peace. And it made me so happy to be able to do that. So what that is called is grounding. So I want to talk a little bit about grounding and what that is. So there's a couple different things here. So usually what grounding is, it's a practice that brings you to a place that is present and gets you back to the here and now. So usually people refer to this as the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique, which is analyzing the 5 senses around you. So finding something you can see, touch, hear, smell, and taste. This is the most common. For me, I have these kind of written out already. I actually have them. I used to get really bad driving anxiety, so I'd have them written out on like this little air freshener I made for the car. Because for me, thinking about those 5 things gave me anxiety because I couldn't immediately think of something during an anxiety attack. So that's the most common thing. And the benefits of that is that it keeps you calm, it keeps you focused, it keeps you distracted by the anxiety going on in your head. So that's like an immediate grounding technique. But what I love to do is what's called nature grounding. That's like
All right.
I like it.
I like it.
zen. So this is like I just brought up, hands in the dirt. I will not wear garden gloves at all when I plant, when I do anything, because being in the dirt for me is a very gratifying feeling. It makes me feel like I'm very present in the moment, and it's very calming. If I'm able to, I'm barefoot all the time outside. I have no shame about that. I love being barefoot. Actually is one of the most common forms of nature grounding. So whether it's in your backyard or the sand, the ocean.
Yeah. Same.
If I'm able to, if it's not too treacherous, I'll barefoot when I hike sometimes too. If
Yeah,
it's
you gotta
not
be
like,
careful
yeah,
there.
only
Yeah.
if it's like a smooth surface. I don't, but still like being, or in a creek or a river.
I like the backyard.
Touching the earth. Just,
Yeah.
just
Yes,
really,
yes, really letting the earth heal you. Even like touching a tree or
It's
just
so
like,
true.
I don't know. I just find it very,
Yeah, I find. Do
I
you
agree.
find that when you do that? But is it instant? Like, are you feeling it? You're not obviously the whole time like, this is so great. But you have like fleeting moments of it though, right?
no, like it's like amazing the whole time. Like I'm in a different world. I don't know. I can't explain it.
How do you get anything done?
I do. Like doing that is
Oh.
like,
Helps you.
yeah.
What if you're just walking though? I'm saying.
What, you just like
walk
walking?
out, yeah.
Being
Yeah.
out in nature sometimes can.
No, I
just-
mean in your backyard, like walking in your backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Avoiding the dog poop, which
Yeah,
you
that's
probably
fenced in. So when I'm out in the clearing, yeah, even in my backyard, because when I'm grounded right there, I'm looking at the trees, I'm looking at the birds, I'm hearing noises, I'm paying attention to what's going on around me in nature. I'm not focused on anything else. So it really is like, I don't know, it might hit some people differently, but for me, it's like an instantaneous. Like I love being out here.
Yeah, I think so. I think I would challenge any listener, just go out right now, find even if it's a pot outside, like a potted plant or
Yeah.
something, and put your hand in there and just move it
Oh
around.
yeah, there's
It's
something about just like the dirt. It's
Yeah,
just like,
yeah.
I don't know.
even though
Yeah.
a potted plant would not be connected to the earth necessarily, but it's
Well, yeah, you're still planting
like a
something.
symbolism thing, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, that's why this winter I've,
Some of us don't have yards,
yeah,
We
Yeah,
live in the
Sarah.
city.
You're so fortunate.
my bad.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Doesn't have to be a yard. You can go anywhere. Nature surrounds
Well,
us.
hey,
No,
I have a
I
park
100%
park
agree.
like 2 blocks away. I'll
Yeah.
just walk over there and take off my shoes and get
Yeah,
arrested.
you got a pine forest by your house. You can just take a walk.
Yeah.
Lollygag over there, take a walk.
So if I did that, if I went barefoot in the park, I'm downtown, and say I had like a bathrobe on or something, right?
Well, I don't know if
Are you
that's
cousin
appropriate
Eddie right now?
Hold on. Trying to catch a couple charges, maybe.
Okay, so I have to wear normal clothes.
Right.
But I'd have to like think about what I'm wearing because I don't want to be thought of as, oh, this is another homeless person.
Yeah, you
Right.
aren't as free in
Yeah.
the
Can't
city.
wear a suit and be grounded. I mean,
I could go out in a robe and PJs and nobody would say anything.
I
Well-
could do it, and then people would say, well, there's a crazy man, and I would
Yeah.
say, no,
I'm getting.
I'm
grounded.
grounding.
I'm grounding.
probably
I'm
call
just
you crazy.
eccentric.
Eccentric.
Yeah. Because when you're middle class, when you're not poor, it's not crazy. You're just eccentric.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that lady down the street, she's eccentric. She's weird, something, but she's
Well,
not
just-
crazy.
Right. I mean, she's just different, and I think sometimes.
Yeah.
We just. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wearing
no, I think
slippers.
and another thing I wanted to point out too, because spring is here, we're all ready to be outside and do things and spring clean and everything else. But as a reminder, because I'm so guilty of this, it does not have to be done right freaking now and one day at a time. I know it can get overwhelmed because I'm the kind of person that gets overwhelmed and I'll do too much at once and then I freak out when things don't get done. That's the control side of me. And
Yeah, but I actually admire that. That's smart.
I really
Yeah.
like
Get it
that.
done over time. I was usually like, oh, shit.
yeah,
It's warm out.
and
We got a
actually
party
what
next
I
week. I
do-
got to get some planting done.
Yeah. But what I like to do is use the expo board in my kitchen that I used to use for meal planning. And then I have it set out by days. So I'll put like, okay, this day I'm going to spend 30 minutes on this. This day I'm going to spend 30 minutes on it. Like, so that way I'm visualizing like when I'm going to be doing these things. Because if I just like get up on a Saturday and I'm like, I know I have this, and this, I'm going to overwhelm myself and I'm not
Yeah.
going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
So that's another tip and trick.
Yeah, because that again,
Yeah.
I would feel just overwhelmed, so I wouldn't be able to enjoy putting hands in.
Well, yeah, we wouldn't be able to
dirt,
enjoy all
that
this.
stuff.
It's too. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember cutting the grass though, and they always told you always wear shoes when you cut the grass because you cut your toes off. But I think it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But they have shoes.
Are
or
you
not.
push mowing?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm just gonna have stained green feet, which is fine.
I
I'm
have
not-
a riding mower.
I'm not rich. I don't have a riding mower. What are you talking about?
Well, you also don't have.
Oh, I don't have any. Lawn.
You don't
Yeah.
have a yard.
I mean, when I
Wait
used
a minute.
to. Technically, I still own it.
Right. I mean,
I would push mow, but I can't get rid of my mower. I need someone to get this thing out of my house.
What the riding mower?
Yeah.
I would love to have a lawn.
I'd love to have a riding mower. Just ride it around downtown.
Lawnmower
Yes.
games.
Can I get a plow put on it and just like plow people's sidewalks and shit? That'd be like Forrest Gump.
Yes. Water boy.
Yeah,
That's
Waterboy.
eccentric.
Forrest Gump didn't do that.
No, he cut the grass,
Waterboy
though.
did.
Yeah. He
No,
did
but
cut the
Forrest
grass.
Gump cut the grass.
Oh,
He
yeah,
did
but
his job,
Waterboy
though.
had the
Means of
lawnmower.
transportation. Yeah. 100%.
That
So,
would be
yeah.
eccentric of me, not crazy. It'd be
Yeah.
eccentric.
Which is just different, which is also okay.
Oh, here comes that Bryon dude. He's cutting over at Grant Hospital.
Who wants to
The big
fall in
plows
the
are coming. I'm like,
parameters
I
of
got
normalcy?
this. I got it. Yeah, I'll take your riding mower for sure.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
an extra parking place. I can do it.
Dad comes out. Oh my gosh, I
great.
can see it now.
I'd totally do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally.
I just think, I just wanted to touch base on that because it's an important time.
I think it's
now
appropriate.
yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, I love the daylight. I love how sunny it's been and nice, even though next week is going to be depressing again. But that's fine. It's March in
really?
Ohio. Yeah.
Why?
There's something.
Well, I think it's going to be high 40s, maybe low 50s. But anyway, it's March in Ohio, so we can expect.
It's like an instant dopamine.
It really
Yeah.
is. It really. But can we talk? That's what I wanted to talk about, you guys.
Yeah.
Is how you.
The Dust Bowl from this weekend that happened. The
My
car
car.
washes
My
were
car.
insane.
Wait, what
Wow.
happened? I was
Insane.
in New
Just
York. What?
Covered in
We got
disgusting.
this windstorm come this way. But they had this dirt storm in Southwest Texas, and it was bringing it up this way. So everybody's
Really?
cars were covered in this dirty rain.
wasn't as informed.
Yeah,
I didn't know what it was.
I didn't know what
You
it
just
was
went out
either.
and you're like, oh, my car's dirty.
yeah.
I thought it was like the snow, like me driving in the country Friday night, and then I see it, and I'm like, why does everybody's car look exactly the same? And then I see the car washes, and I'm like, I've never seen the car washes this long before. I mean, like
It's like
taking
yellow.
up traffic. Like that was my complaint. If it is
Wait, we
literally
went from
like,
grounded
no, I'm
to ground.
sorry.
Now we're
This is-
complaining about the dust.
It's a little
I
bit
had to go
chaotic.
backwards. If you are taking up the
I
entire
only like you,
route,
Earth, if you're moist and rich
And you love-
soil under my
Right,
feet. Not
right,
that
right, right.
fucking dust from Texas.
What the
goddamn.
not the
French
man,
toast.
yeah, not the dust. That was probably a result of like cloud seeding or something. No, I'm not even gonna go there.
Anyways.
But anyway, yeah. So like you're taking up like a mile route of traffic just to wait for a damn car wash. At that point, I'm just gonna take it home and spray it off.
Yeah.
I had the pleasure of being able to get there at a certain time Sunday morning and get it done. But just go. There's nobody directing traffic. It's rude. Who cares? It's just a little bit of dirt. Like
yeah, mine's still covered in that said dirt.
anyway, but yeah,
I like a clean car.
That's
though.
what
I mean,
That's what I was going to talk about because
And Sarah, do you know the new car wash that came in?
yeah,
on
that's the one I went
79?
to. It's
We went
Gerald
there.
told me about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks.
We waited in line forever. We got up there. We got in the car wash. We're going through it. And then our car wasn't getting washed. Like none of the things were happening. They sprayed the car
Oh my
with the
God.
pre-wash crap.
Uh-huh.
We went through there. Nothing happened. We came out the other end. And
Did you at least get it dried?
No,
Oh
nothing
my
happened.
gosh.
So
Oh my
then
gosh.
the car was covered in that Texas dust crap plus the pre-wash. and then I walked into the office to complain and like, hey, I don't want to get back in this line again.
Yeah.
And you guys sprayed the car and everything. The guy handed me a coupon.
Oh,
When I-
you know what? That's BS. Because when I was waiting in line one night, someone complained and they got to go around the circle and come back, and they made traffic back up to let them through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't let us do that.
And you know what? The QR code for the satisfaction survey didn't work Sunday because I was going to complain. That's fine. Anyway, sorry we went backwards. That is not what grounding is, you guys. That is not the definition of grounding.
we are subject to change.
We
It can
are.
be in this
Much
But
like
after
calm,
that was done,
beautiful
I went
moment,
home and painted outside and got in the dirt.
and you were grounded.
And I was grounded. End of story.
You're right. Things come full circle.
Yes. All right.
This is my, I like the musical
This is
interpretation.
so relaxing.
Michael Jackson.
It's Michael Jackson.
I love this song.
I don't know this song.
You're too young.
Oh.
It's called Earth Song.
Oh, I love this one.
What about sunrise? What about rain? What about all the things that you said we were to gain?
Is it gonna build?
What about killing the feeling?
Well, I was trying to bring us back down a little bit. So, yeah,
What about all
Earth tunes,
Yes.
songs. whatever they
Yeah,
are.
we were getting all worked up
Yeah,
about
because
car
I should have
washes.
brought that up. Like, that's what I wanted to complain about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's move on then. We got, again, we kind of mid-introduced our guests.
Yeah.
Little little background, Sarah. Give it to us.
Yeah.
'Cause we had Gerald on
Gerald on
2 weeks
yeah.
ago.
So this is Gerald's wife, Heather, and she has some stuff she wanted to talk about when it comes to mental health as well. But so we can get her side of things with the heckers.
Love it. All right, so start off. Tell us, first of all, did you listen to the podcast?
Yeah, a little bit of it.
At least the Gerald part. All right, so comments, thoughts, notes on what he said. Any, are you going to rebut some of the things he said or challenge?
No, I think he was pretty honest, and I would agree with him. Actually, he's a pretty good guy. Like he's very supportive of me, and he acknowledges that a marriage is the two of us, not just one or the other. So
yeah.
He holds himself accountable, I feel like, for like his mistakes. Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah.
I think one of the things we sort of landed on, at least we talked about for a couple minutes on that episode, that I've been touting a lot lately, and that is that I think when you're in a relationship, you can't expect someone to be different than who they are. You have to, one, understand who they are. Then secondly, land on being okay with that. You have to as a person. I think that for where I am right now, that is the key to relationships. And that is know who that person is, like really know who they are. And for most of us, we haven't, I would say, I'm not sure, Mallory, I'm not sure if you just dove in. I dove into relationships all the time.
I did too.
I just did.
So you don't
Guilty.
take the time to really understand who they are. Like you gotta.
I never did. Yeah.
Right. And then once you do that, then you got to go, okay, am I going to be okay with who that person is, what they're doing and all that? And that's been a big challenge. And it was good to hear Gerald talk about that. I like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think some of our listeners actually told, not some of our, at least one listener called and said, I really got a lot out of that.
Super relatable.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things that Gerald does that gets under my skin. But
Yeah, well, like what?
I think some of the things are just I think a lot of wives out there that would agree that their husbands do it too.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about just silly stuff that, picking up after him here and there, and why did he do this or why did he do that? Or one of the things with Gerald is he's not safety thinking when he does, projects around the house or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm a nurse. I'm trained to think that way of safety.
Yeah.
So you're like OSHA coming
I was
on
going to say,
site.
Yeah.
OSHA forward.
See, that's how my brother and sister-in-law are, because she's a nurse as well. So she's always looking out.
Yeah. So example would be
the attic.
Gerald going up a ladder to the second story of the house with Crocs on.
That is so Gerald.
And the ladder not tied off.
Yeah.
I got this. It's fine.
Or what was the other
Wait, are they
thing?
Croc work boots or are they just
Crocs?
They might make Croc work
it
boots.
might be a new thing.
Oh, probably do. Or one of the other things, he was working in the garage with a sander or something, and I told him, why don't you put some shoes on if you're working with something like that? He was wearing sandals that you wear to the beach. And lo and behold, so I can't remember what happened, but he drops it and he about took his toe off.
Oh, no.
And as a wife, I want to be like, I told you so. Why don't you listen to me?
Man,
but
I had to maybe borderline ask him to borrow a tool the other day. I don't know if I should trust Gerald
and then,
with tools.
of course, the nurse in me, no, we're not going to the ER.
We're going to amputate that toe right here. That'll teach you. So I'm sitting here thinking, well, if that's the worst things in your relationship, that's not so bad.
Yeah.
That you're just worried about them. But you're
yeah.
not going to, or are you going to let that affect how you feel about them from a,
No.
I mean, that obviously shows you love them and care for him because you don't want him to get hurt. Or, let's be honest, you just don't want to deal with it. Like you know that there's something's going to happen. Get the video out and post it on YouTube, or something's going to happen. You'll catch that. Then you have to deal with it, or nothing's going to happen.
I will say to both Gerald and John Henry, I don't feel like going to the ER this weekend, so I'm going to need you to be safe, But and those are just Gerald's quirks.
Yeah.
They're quirks. It doesn't entirely define Gerald as, a husband, a father.
Right.
And who he is as a person.
Yeah.
So, we talk about in business our core values. And I think we as humans each have our own core values as well. Those are the things we need to understand in a relationship. What are your core values? And it's not something, again, in business, I think we just throw up a bunch of shit on the board and make it look like it sounds awesome. But I think we have to think about who we are as people, right? And sometimes we don't know. And that becomes a challenge in a relationship. It sounded like Gerald told us some stories like he still wasn't sure and admitted, like, I didn't know who I was.
It's so
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Right? So once you have to work on yourself, find out who you are, then your partner interprets who you are.
And that takes time.
It takes a lot of time, yeah. And then understanding and things like that. So I wonder, do you think, I like to talk about relationships, but do you think, and I know you want to get into other things, but if you knew that, or so let's just say some of our listeners are like, oh wow, I never thought about it that way. Let me think this way now. How do you think you go about in a relationship to understand that? Because you've been in other serious, and you've been married before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you think you'd go about now? And we can actually maybe teach Sarah,
Oh my gosh.
my daughter here, that
I'm in a very healthy situation right now, so it's fine.
like knowing that that's what we have to do. How do you think how do we do that? Like do you like you're just meeting somebody, say, or you and Gerald got back together let's talk about from your story. You guys got back together. Do you think you knew that at the time, or maybe after a while you think about it? So how would you do it differently if we all agree that that's the way to do it? Is really understand what the core values of that person are, and then do I accept that person for who they are? How do you think you'd do that?
I think it takes having experiences together. For example, we weren't married yet, and we had John Henry. John Henry came at 29 weeks, so he was a preemie. He had to be in the NICU for about 3 months. Prior to that, when I found out that I was pregnant with John Henry, Gerald got a little flaky for a hot second. And it wasn't until we saw that John Henry was a boy on the ultrasound that Gerald's whole demeanor changed at that point. Like, I've never seen him smile so big at that. And then he became like the biggest support. Almost a little bit too much. I called him the milk Nazi because I had to like pump while John Henry was in the NICU every 2 hours, even while I was in bed and I had to get up and Gerald would be like, It's 2:00 in the morning. Have you pumped yet? Have you pumped? Have you drank enough water? Have you ate enough protein? But that was Gerald being supportive, and he was caring about me and John Henry. So like during that experience is when I started seeing the real core values of Gerald coming out, of how caring he is of people and people in his life.
Yeah.
And then going through the whole NICU process for 3 months, we had to support each other, and we learned a lot about each other and how we can handle stress and how we can manage and organize the whole thing, a house, everything.
I'm sitting here, my heart. I know I have a heart, Sarah.
I know you do.
My heart is melting because I can relate to that. Like that change and I'll just say in a man to some extent, like they see something like that. Like you said, they saw the ultrasound, saw it was a boy. It's like, it was an instant like, oh man, I guess I felt that way when I first found out we were pregnant and just like, wait, I'm going to be a dad for fuck. And then, oh, you know what? This is that. Maybe it was seeing an ultrasound or something like when it becomes a reality and you're, it hits you that this is awesome, and it changes your perspective on everything, probably the relationship, it sounds like, and everything.
Yeah, and
unfortunately, I think most men don't feel that way, which is sad in our society. But
Gerald's got a huge heart, and so that's kind of where it got started. And we didn't get married until John Henry was about 3.
So he could be a ring bearer, so you didn't have to worry about pissing off any like nephews and stuff.
Well, and actually, to touch on my mental health, we decided to do some marriage counseling before we actually got married because there was some things there. Disagreements and different things like that. So
do you think you guys did that because you were both because he was married before too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think you did that because you were that experience of being married before? Like, let's not get married until we do this. I think that's super wise.
I think we wanted to do it right.
Yeah.
And so we
sorry to interrupt. I wanted to do that the second time, but he said no. That should have been my red flag.
Yeah. Yep. You live and you learn, I guess.
Go ahead.
Why is my head hurting?
But I tell you what, and I have a history of mental health issues, anxiety, depression, a lot of different things. And I think there's not a man on this earth that could handle me and be there for me like Gerald does. Gerald just knows what to do.
Yeah.
He has seen me at my worst. And that goes back in my 20s when, I used, alcohol, drugs, and all that for coping mechanisms to handle my stress and anxiety. So he's seen all that. And, there was one time where I have panic disorders. So 5 days in a row, I was having panic attacks nonstop. My body was just... Someone flipped a fight or flight switch and I was stuck there for 5 days. And the only way that I could close my eyes and sleep for about 5 to 10 minutes was if I laid my head on Gerald's chest.
Whoa.
It's that safety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Gerald knows me. And
and that says a lot. I think again, going back to relationships, having a partner, because first off, imagine having to deal with that on your own. You're going to have to, hopefully you have someone in your life for support, right? Now you have a partner, and that that says a lot about not only you guys' relationship. I don't want to just keep pumping Gerald up. I don't want him to get a big head, but I mean, that's it's really uncommon. I would surmise that, or theorize it's uncommon because of so many relationship issues that to be supportive like that. I'm sitting here thinking like I don't know if I could do that. I want to be that person, but that's really hard to do as a person. Like you're really being aware of those issues, helping you out, being there for you instead of like, oh my God, what this is insane. What again? Now we have to do this.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean you're very lucky.
And
Both you guys to have a good relationship.
Yeah.
And when we went through marriage counseling, there's a lot of things that we figured out to help us along the way. And one of the things was, and I can totally take the blame on it, on the communication issue, which a lot of relationships, communication issues is the reason why it breaks down. So I was mainly the reason for all the communication issues because of my anxiety and growing up in a house where mental health did not exist. You're not depressed. Quit your crying.
Oh, the mental health
Go,
issues. Did not,
yeah. You're fine. Get over it. And then so I suppressed. That was how I did it.
Yeah.
And that's how I survived all that stuff. So into my adulthood, I was suppressing and not communicating things that bothered me.
I can relate to that.
Yeah.
I can relate to it.
Yeah. So then it gets to a point where you suppress it for so long, you blow up. And then that's when you had like the arguments and all that. So I could say a lot of it was my problem, which things have gotten so much better, but.
Was it that the counseling clearly helped, but then having those experiences, and did you have any challenges during those times where you felt like Gerald wasn't meeting or he wasn't there for you or something like that? Or was it just unicorns and rainbows the whole time?
It wasn't unicorns and rainbows and, puppies, but yeah, and we still have our disagreements and things like that, but we handle it totally differently now. And I think it's also, we want this marriage to be successful. We love each other. We're each other's best friends. When we go out and we do things, we act like best friends. We get goofy, we laugh, we make fun of each other. So it's a fun relationship.
Which is really having trust in your relationship to do that when you can make fun of each other and do all that kind of stuff.
That's goals.
I'm going to go back to the best friend thing though. Have I mentioned this on this podcast? Like I didn't like your Aunt Amy, her first marriage wedding invitation saying I'm marrying my best friend. I'm like, I don't think you can marry your best friend. But I don't know.
I'm starting to change my thinking on that.
Yeah.
Because I told Amy, like when we had my friend Amy on, I was like, we don't do that. But then I'm like, if you meet that person that like you can
is your best
be
friend.
like literally is your best friend. Like, yeah.
I think I'm warming up to that idea and hearing this is like, okay, well, if that's the definition of best friend.
Yeah.
And I always thought, and probably wrongly in a relationship that, well, a best friend, I should be able to tell them anything and it won't matter. They may judge me, but they're my best friend. So they're like, well, I'm your best friend. I'll be here for you, whatever. I might not agree with you, but you don't like hate each other. I don't think. I don't mean,
right.
Then define best friends. But then to marry one, I always felt like, well, I can't open up because I'm open up and I'm going to get chastised for it or pay for it somehow. So maybe that's why I was so against it. But then when you find someone that just accepts you, it goes back to that. When you know those person's core values, know who they are at the core, then you accept the things that you might not have. I think it's very rare to align on those core values. Can we all agree on that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It'd be very hard for two people unless you're marrying Seinfeld met a woman that was exactly like him. Like,
Yeah.
I'm marrying, I'm dating myself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's possible. So, but you have to be able to accept what those things are that you don't like. And again, a core value is critical. It's not just wearing safety shoes or something like that. It's something that's actually, man, he's not empathetic towards this. Can I get over that?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Or she's not empathetic. Can I get over that? And if you can get over it, like, yeah, it's not that important to me, then perfect. It's going to work.
Yeah.
But if not, you should just cut it off right then and say, it's not going to work. I love you. This is great. But this is not going to work long term.
I agree.
And then did Gerald share that we actually dated prior
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
before?
Yeah. The whole story. Yeah.
he-
and then shared the connection because how I knew the ex-wife. And
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I have no allegiance to anyone. Okay. So she didn't like me. I didn't like her. So it's fine. I owe you no loyalty.
I'm glad you're saying that 'cause it sounds like you've had events where that, like, you weren't Switzerland.
Yeah.
Like you were
Or
put in the
neutral.
position of being
Yeah.
Germany or whatever, or Poland, going, oh fuck, we got to fight now.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, he did say that. But I mean, my question is, so for your mental health journey, did you ever experience with medication, and like how did that affect you, or did it work for you?
I have a long history of being on medications. I've been on anything from Prozac, Zoloft to Effexor, Wellbutrin, and then some of the anti-anxiety things. And that was from about age 18 up into about 2 years ago, where I absolutely boycotted all medications. And me and Gerald, between the two of us, we made an agreement that I would never, ever take another one of those ever again. They never did work for me. And if they did, it was very temporary. It didn't take care of the root causes. Every single one of them caused side effects. You're looking at one right now. I got about 50 pounds to lose. So when they tell you, no, those meds don't make you gain weight, that's bullshit. It does.
Yeah.
It affects your body in a lot of different ways. You got serotonin receptors all over your body, and you know, but they just never worked for me. And then as soon as I figured out something's not working for me, I don't like how I feel on it, I want off of it, I've gone through withdrawal on every single one. The worst withdrawal I've been on was when we got me off Alexapro 2 years ago. It's actually exactly 2 years, almost to the day.
Oh, wow.
And I went through withdrawal for about 2 straight months.
Wow.
It was intense. I almost couldn't function. I almost couldn't work. For me, so medication may work for other people, and that's great. For me, it did not take care of the traumas that I had in my childhood or into my adulthood, for that matter. So I got off all that stuff, and I've been doing it just cold turkey and trying to learn how to come up with new coping skills. No alcohol, no drugs, no meds, doing it all just natural.
Yeah.
And it's been the hardest thing I've ever had to do.
Because you have to face it.
Yes.
That's the challenge. You're actually facing what you're going through without anything to help you.
Yeah.
That's that temporary sustenance. So, I commend you for that, though, because
Me
it's
as
not
well.
easy.
Damn, I want to get there.
I
Yeah.
know.
Well, I haven't been on medication for 12 years. And even the last time I took it, it was like very briefly after my fiance passed away. And it didn't do anything for me. And even before that, I was on it in high school for a little bit. Didn't do anything for me. For me, I discovered the CBT method, and that's what changed me, because I knew that my root cause is something else that's not in my brain. It's not altering my, chemical
chemistry.
Yeah.
Wait, what's the CBT? What's
cognitive behavioral therapy?
Oh,
yeah.
I love that approach.
And so that's why when I talk about grounding, nature has been like literally my healing,
Love
because
it.
that's where I feel my best. And when I'm out in it, it makes me feel.
It's been scientifically proven.
But then once you get, therapy, you have to start dealing with, well, why am I this way? And then I'm so sick and tired of like identifying why I was the way I was, or things that happened, because it's like, but you have to, because if a medication is not going to identify your trauma.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's a synthetic form of dopamine.
Yeah, it comes down to rewiring your nervous system.
Yeah.
Like my nervous system is wired to be alert and worried and hyper vigilant all the time, and to be chronically in that mode all the time is exhausting.
Yeah.
For
You
sure.
get
very
insomnia,
exhausting. Yeah.
you get all these, and the symptoms for me have morphed and changed over time. My anxiety looks different now than it did in my 20s versus when I was a kid. It started when I was a little kid. I had separation anxiety, and then it went into sleep paralysis. I get the sleep demons, and they're terrible.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what to do about those, but
That's still happening?
yeah.
And then do you think it's gotten like, so you get married? Well, yeah, you had John Henry first, but you worry about Gerald. I suspect that you worry about John Henry a lot too.
Oh yeah.
Like that causes a lot of anxiety. And
Well, John Henry, he's autistic, so that comes with a slew of worries and what ifs, and we got to get him to therapy, we got IEP meetings at school, we got and parenting. John Henry's my first child and my only child, and my first and only child had autism. So it's a crazy parenting to learn.
Yeah.
And not to mention being a person with anxiety, and you're out in public, like say at a grocery store, and John Henry has a meltdown because the fluorescent lighting or the people in the area or whatever, and then people look at you like, oh, well, you know how many times I've heard someone tell me, well, if my kid did that, I'd beat their ass.
Oh, gosh.
And it's like, well, I feel bad for your kid.
Yeah.
If that's what you do.
Yeah.
Because, a meltdown is completely different from just them being a turd and, throwing a fit or whatever.
If your kid's having a meltdown like that, who isn't, that's
then,
a parenting thing.
Yeah, and then mommy having overstimulation and anxiety. I want to melt down with him, to be honest.
Yeah.
But, you just get the eyeballs staring at you and judging you out in public. And then Gerald is the one that told me, Heather, you have to let that go.
Yeah.
Ignore them. They don't matter. They don't know what's going on,
Yeah.
So he reminds me.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that relationship sounds awesome. Now, is there something that you feel you're giving that are you connected enough with him that you can recognize if he is just pushing stuff down to be there for you?
Absolutely.
Depressing.
Yeah. And the thing with Gerald, he's super positive and cool as a cucumber, and so he balances me out very well in the relationship.
Yeah.
But I can always tell if something's bothering Gerald. I can pick it up really quick, because I don't know if he shared some of his childhood
Did he?
No.
Yeah. I mean, we've gotten it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he just kind of referred to it as not great.
Yeah.
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 It wasn't the best
Mhm.
childhood. It was very, unstable, and he probably has gone through trauma himself. I can bet you $1 million. And so I can always tell when if something's bothering him, it's something major.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
So-
overall, he's a very positive guy. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's fascinating. It's not what I expected. I thought this was going to be like a total rebuttal session, and I think this is pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Talk about it's really not just Gerald. It's really how your relationship works, and you being open about your mental health and how it can be better, and how Gerald helps you. And I think, I guess the one thing, a quick question. Acknowledging that he may have something, what are there things that you're doing that he feels, because as a partner you have to you have to give a little back too, so are you're doing those things as well? Did you tell us about anything like besides his upbringing being bad, and you're like aware of it and cognizant of it, but I don't know, I guess I just still worry about someone that's really helping a lot. Are they just pushing down too much? And do you
Is he
feel
suppressing?
Yeah.
Is that
Right.
like he's
Yeah.
suppressing?
I see
more?
what you're
Yeah.
saying. I would say maybe a little bit, because I think he's always felt like he's had to take care of other people all the time.
Yeah.
So, but I have recognized, okay, let's say, his parents weren't together, and the unstableness of that. Sometimes I feel like I'm taking on a mother role to Gerald sometimes, because I think he missed out on a little bit of that. So
which can be dangerous, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if your partner acts like a parent to you, that could be pretty dangerous too. So, and my advice would just be, I think, and Gerald, I relate to so many things. It's just every once in a while, like, I appreciate you. I really appreciate what you're doing. Like, that goes so far to somebody, not to be there and do that motherly thing or whatever, but just to be able to say, hey, I really appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah.
We like to hear that too. That's good.
Yeah.
I say that, but I recognize it, but I keep a healthy boundary of what my role is.
Yeah.
I'm his wife, and
Right.
I'm John Henry's mom.
Right.
But I try my best to help Gerald work through his stuff too.
Yeah.
It's not only me that has issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has his own that he needs supported with. When he stopped talking to his dad and stuff like that, I had to support him through that,
Yeah.
because that's kind of how he
hard.
felt.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and that's hard because you might not feel like that was the appropriate thing to do. But yeah, you got to support. I like that you said that, because I was going to say mutual support is really important.
Yeah.
And again, that comes from accepting who they are as
Whether
people.
you agree with it or not.
Right. You might not agree with it, but you
Mutual support.
gotta support that person. That's one thing I feel. My experience is I didn't feel like I was supported as much. And
I
when you
never
feel
felt supported.
you feel great.
Yeah.
Did we miss anything?
Mm-mm.
Got into it. Any more questions you have?
No,
Oh man, this has been great. Getting both of you
Hecker
guys on here.
2.0.
Wow.
Love it.
Might be
I
a
tell you
first and
what,
only in the
it's a
podcast.
complete, like, I was married before, and that was a terrible marriage.
Yeah.
And this marriage has been like the way I think a marriage should be. It is what it is. Like, I feel like we are a team. I just wish sometimes we got more time together, like, date nights, things like that.
Yeah.
I think you always have something to learn about that person. You never ever
Always.
know them entirely. So, and then you learn more about each other.
Takes
Like,
time.
You know,
It
you can
does.
always bring the kid over. Or I can come over there. You know,
I was going to
it's-
say, Sarah will definitely babysit.
I'm about to have a child out of the house, so I'm not going to know what to do with myself.
That might be a good idea.
You're going to have
Yeah.
a empty nest.
Yeah. Yeah. 9 Sundays to go. Oh. Dad, it's not.
Oh man.
Dude, I was home alone yesterday.
This would be me, like party. Boom.
I know. Dad's gonna be like, yeah, Sammy.
Yes.
Like yesterday I was home alone and this TikTok came through like letter to my daughter and I literally cried for 2 hours by myself. I was losing my mind. Dad, stop it.
Everything's gonna be fine.
Everything is going to be.
I'm not ready to rush her out just yet, okay?
I get that.
We've had a unique journey.
A beautiful
All
journey.
right, Heather. Thanks for coming on.
you're
We really
Thank you,
appreciate
Heather.
it.
Thanks for
Thank you,
having
Heather.
me.
Yeah, this has been a fun episode of
Yeah.
talking different, Florida people, mental health stuff, all that stuff.
Florida people.
Florida people.
Yeah, I'm loving it.
I mean, hodgepodge.
It is a hodgepodge.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, this has been another episode of Subject to Change. I'm Sarah.
I'm Mallory.
And I'm the monkey in the middle.
And everything is
Is
fine.
Fine.
Shut your mouth. I know what you are. Don't say nothing. Keep your hands on the wheel. Don't turn around. This is for real. Get in the dirt. Stay with me. I need support. I'm digging in the dirt. Find the places I got hurt. Open up places I got hurt.
This is Subject to Change. And everything is fine. Subject to Change. Everything